Hi and welcome to a new video. In this video I want to do an unboxing and review of the Netduma R3. So this is a Wi-Fi 6 gaming router. So as you can see here, this is specifically for gaming, but again you can use it in your household for as a normal router because it's actually Wi-Fi 6, so it's pretty powerful. And what is really special about this is it has its own operating system. So like we've seen before in previous videos I've done around the firmware and updates and things like that. So it's basically the user interface, the app and things, as you can see here. This is specifically for gaming. So if you really are a hardcore gaming, so you've got your Xbox, even you've got your ROG Asus handheld devices, or PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4. So if you're a PC gaming, of course. So again, this all connects to these. So this is where you can start configuring everything. And this is where the Duma OS, the newest version 4, comes in with a user interface that is absolutely fantastic, to be honest. I don't think I've seen anything like it before, and I've been having a look at their over the years with the different versions of when they first came out, and how they've been progressing and everything else. So as you can see here, that I do like packaging, so it's always nice to see when companies actually put a bit of effort into it and everything. So as you can see here, we've got the outer here, so basically it's quite straightforward with a bit of a raised on the actual router. So you can see here it does have the RGB as well, so any decent gaming router has to have RGB, as we always know, and they are customizable as well. So if I just flip this over, as you can see here, there's some nice detail on the side, and you've got the actual information here as well. So you can see here as well around the software. So as we were saying, they do have an Android and iOS app as well. And also you can use the web interface through your normal browser. So you can use your Safari, Chrome, Firefox, and anything else that your browser you're using. So you can see here there is some straightforward actually what the actual features, and of course we'll go into more detail in that later on, and in future videos is when we're doing our usual series where we do the speed tests, advanced settings, and anything else for customization. So you can see here it has Geo Filter 2.0. So basically what this does is it says here is gets the best servers possible no matter the game. So it tries to geofence and everything else around the actual where you're actually going to get your game servers. You have Smart Boost that prioritize your gaming. So basically it's a quality of service. It prioritizes your gaming, so your devices that are connected to the network over someone does streaming what basically their Netflix or their anything else, or YouTube videos. So you've got here steady ping, so that locks in your ping and avoids lag spikes. You've got the ultimate insight, so you're understanding your whole network with live info. So as we can see here, the user interface is very good, clear, and so you can see what you can do. You can do your speed checks and everything else, see your ping rates and everything. It's all in a very clear and easy to use interface. You've got your RGB, so you can customize that as well on the router. And also you've got it easy to use, as it says here, it's straightforward. You can come into the user interface or the app and you can actually start customizing it. So if I flip this straight over, and we can have a look to see actually what's inside the box. So you can see here it does have start having information around here as well. So you can see here where it says about the RGB. So we do have the power USB, so it's USB 3.0. It has a WPS 2.4 gigahertz and the 5 gigahertz band. So this is a dual band. It has your internet LED, and then it has your Ethernet ports as well. So there's 4 Ethernet and they're all 1 gig. On the back you can see here you have the power button, of course your power socket, again as we said the USB 3.0. You have your Ethernet ports, your WAN port, and then your WPS and the reset button. And again you've got your 4 antennas, and they are detachable as well, so if you want to change them out you can. So that's really good to see that you can change here. You've got a quick start guide as well, so it's actually so you don't have to open up another manual or leaflets and things like that most people ignore. It's straight on the box, and you can see here about attaching the antennas, plugging it in, connecting the wired devices, powering it on and connecting. So again, they're making it very straightforward for people, and I really like to see that, where they actually try and think about the whole, basically their customer journey, as us as end users when we're buying these products, that we can follow this very easy without any trouble and things like that, because not everyone wants to read a whole manual and go through things. We have a Cat6, so it's a flat Cat6 Ethernet cable as well, so that's really nice to see. And I like the flat interface as well, so when I put it against on the skirting boards or on the floor, if you're running under anything, it's good to see that they've got that there as well. And again, it's been Cat6, so normally they use you normally get Cat5e, so it's good to see that they're actually giving nice quality Ethernet cables as well. Again, because I'm in the UK, and I have a UK plug, but if you're in the US, Europe or anywhere else, then you'll have your relevant plug on here as well. So you can see here you've got your normal 3 standard. So literally it's nice to see you haven't got a big power brick or anything like that, so it's just running straight from the plug. So that's really good to see as well. So it's easy to install, and also if you haven't got a lot of room where your router has to go, you just have to plug that in. So there's no other big massive brick or anything like that you have to plug in. So that's fantastic to see as well. Then onto the actual router itself. So it's not too heavy, so that's always good. So as you can see here on the router, you've got here the RGB light that goes up here. That's a really nice touch, and then you've got your nice clear LEDs as well here for, as we said before. So that's really good to see. So it's made of like a strong plastic, and it doesn't feel cheap, but it's nice and solid. So it's always good, nice and see as well. It's got some ventilation on the back, so you can see here, so it keeps it nice and cool, and it has grip rubber feet which raise it off. So if you do have like a top, it's always good to see that they've thought about that extra ventilation as well. And you have mountings here for wall mounting as well, so if you want to mount it on the wall, you've got that as well. So that's fantastic as well to see they've incorporated those things. We're turning onto the back, so you can see here the antennas. Again, as we said, they're detachable, so that's always good to see. Then we've got here more ventilation, and as we said, we've got the power button, so it's nice and strong. WPS, we have the reset. This is your WAN port, so that means it's your internet, so you plug your internet cable into this one, and these 4 ports are for your Ethernet, so plugging in your devices. You have a USB, so that's USB 3.0, and your 12 volt power supply socket here as well. So just going on through a bit of the specs, as we said, it's Wi-Fi 6. So this is a dual band AX3000. So basically it's using a chipset from Broadcom. It's the BCM6756. So that's an ARM7 processor. It's quad core. It's got 32 KB of level 1 cache and 512 KB of level 2 cache as well. You have, again, as we said, 4 external antennas, so you can put them on. It has 5 Ethernet ports, and they're all 1 gigs as well, so that's good. So the memory built into it as well is 256 megabytes of DDR3, and then you have 256 megabytes of flash storage as well. And as we said, it's got the here is USB 3.0 port as well, so that's good to see. So that's the rundown of the specs, as we said. And you got the antennas as well, so as you can see, they are actually quite nice and strong, so they're not cheap at all, and they all literally just screw on, so you can then basically just connect them. And of course then you can connect your own if you want to. Sometimes you can get stronger, or you want to play around with your signal, it's good to see that you can actually then plug these in as well, and they just screw on and screw off as well, so it's good there as well to see. You have your details of another card as well inside, so this gives you your basically your network details and everything else, so your default password and the name. So that's good to see that comes as well. And then you've got the card as well, where you've got the QR code to download the actual Wi-Fi, the actual app for the router as well. So it's good to see that everything is straightforward for the customer. As you can see here, you can just plug it in. and you've got the card, the Ethernet. As it said, it's basically 5 steps, and you're connecting away. So next we'll move on to the actual user interface. So what I'm going to do now is just plug this in. So we're now moving on to the setup of the router or router, how you pronounce it. So all I've simply done is just plug it into the mains and switched it on using the switch on the back of the router. You'll then see the RGB lights on the top start to light up, and then the LED white light for the power, and the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz light up as well. And then of course, if you have your internet ISP Ethernet cable plugged into the back, you'll see the LED light up as well. So what I'm using currently here, I'm using the app. I'm actually using the web browser on my computer, but of course you can use the app they have for iOS and Android for setup. And also, if you need the details, once it's powered up, you just connect to the Wi-Fi. It's on that card that we showed, and it does have a QR code that you can scan as well if you don't want to type in the password and everything else. But you'll find the network name and the password on that ID card that's came with the router. And then when you want to come up, if it doesn't actually come up with the setup straight away, just go to your browser. So of course Edge, Safari, Chrome, etc. And you just type in the IP address of 192.168.77.1. It will then load up this setup page here. You may get a security warning, but just say continue to site. It's just because it's the SSL certificate is not valid, it's self-signed, so just ignore that as usual. Okay, so if we just click on begin setup, so you can see here now it's automatically detecting the internet connection. So basically I haven't plugged mine in yet because I want to see what different options that come up if your internet is down or anything like that. So you can see it's identified that there's no internet connection. And then you have a retry, or you have the advanced WAN, so that's your internet port, and that is the blue port on the back of the router. So you can hit retry, or you can go to advanced. So we go to advanced. We can see here that you've got the IP version 6, IP version 6 for WAN, and you can see your network type here as well. So you can see here it's DHCP, PPPoE, and static. So you do have all these options here what you can choose and everything else. So you can skip this, or as advised is that you should automatically, once you have got your internet plugged in, it will automatically identify it. You might have to type in your ISP's username and password that they gave to you as usual, and that's fine. So in this case, what I'm going to do is just skip this because I haven't got it plugged in. You will then get a terms and conditions, so you can see here all the terms and conditions. Again, advise always to read the terms and conditions, but it is quite long and it gives you the information here. Once you've accepted them, you can click on here and click continue. Now you'll come to actually personalizing your Wi-Fi. So if you don't want to keep the default Wi-Fi name and password, you can change that all here. So that's good to see that it gives you the option. It doesn't look like so far it gives you the option to split the band, so you have 2.4 and 5 on this is a dual band Wi-Fi router, but this is for simplification is very good anyway, because this will automatically identify the best channel for the devices. So it's always going to be best for the customer, unless you want some advanced later on. So again, I'll keep this as standard, but again, as I said, you can change this all and everything else to your Wi-Fi name and password. Then you'll click continue. You'll see here that you're choosing now your login details. So this is your username and password for the router. Again, I advise always to change this and don't leave it as admin. Change it to something specific, and also confirm, and don't use your same password as your Wi-Fi password. And again, don't reuse passwords. Try and use something like I have. I've got 1Password, or there's other password managers out there that are free, that are built in now to the operating systems. Do make use of those, because if you ever get hacked or anything with one service, then it always makes it more difficult if you've got strong passwords for each different service and not the same password for everything, because then they can log in. So that's my little advice over and done with. So for this safety, I'm just going to leave it as admin, and then I'm just going to see if I can type admin again. And of course you've got a limit here, so that is good to see that it must be between 8 and I think 64 characters, so that's good. So we'll just type in the password here. Okay, and I've actually just typed in password, so it doesn't give you a password strength meter here, but again, as I said, don't use password or anything that you normally very easy to guess. Change all these details and make a note of them. Okay, so we go to continue. I just click OK on that, and it says, does this look correct? So you've got your Wi-Fi name, your Wi-Fi password, and you can click on the little eye there, and then also you can click on here to see the actual wording to make sure that's all correct. So it's very straightforward. You can see it's literally within like 5 steps, like the box said. It makes everything much easier for the user, so the setup is like complete. So we just click save and continue. It will start to apply those settings, and it may restart the router as well, so just give it a few minutes. Don't think it's crashed or anything like that. Give it up to 5 to 10 minutes for it to actually apply those settings. After they've updated, if you have changed the Wi-Fi details, you will have to probably reconnect to the new Wi-Fi details and everything else. So you can see here that it's actually connected here. So if we have a look, it'll ask you to log in. So as I said, you might ask you to reconnect to if you've changed these details. So now I'm going to connect to the actual settings, so the user interface. As we set this up, my password and username that we just done, and you click sign in. And it says there you continue to start optimizing your home network, so you can click continue, and here it's giving you the welcome about this is the new Duma OS, and you can redo your hardware setup as well, so that's good if you want to go back to the beginning. Click continue, and you can see let's find your speeds. So let's you can enter your speeds, or you can do a speed test, or you can skip. So of course we'll just do a speed test, and you can see here it will just run a normal speed test for you. Of course I'm not connected, so it's not going to actually show anything, but as you can see here, it gives you the upload and the download, so that's fantastic. Here you can choose your priorities, so you can just start these. Basically they've already started your favorite activities as here, so you can switch these ones off. So these have got like mini profiles, so you can see here what is the most important to you. So it does break it down from gaming, video streaming. So gaming does incorporate your consoles and your PC gaming and your handheld devices. Video streaming is your YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime video. There you've got work from home, so you do have a bit more information here. So you can see here where it prioritizes Zoom meetings and Microsoft Teams and VPNs and Google Meet and things like that. So that gives you an idea of what that is. You have cloud gaming. Again, you can see here it supports GeForce Now, PlayStation, PlayStation Remote Play, and Xbox. You have live streaming. So again, if you like to use live streaming on Twitch or anything like that for your games, you have that option. File sharing, and then you have chat and messaging, social media, and VPN. So it gives you the actual ones you want to prioritize. So again, don't be selecting all of these. Try and select the ones that are most priority to you. So you could choose cloud gaming, video streaming, normal gaming. So you can see here these are the games. So it just gives you an idea of the PC games. It says all PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch games as well. And then these are the PC games that it supports as well. So you can just pause the video and you can have a look here. So we put those ones there, and then I think I'll just leave that. Don't need working from home or anything like that. We just use these as priorities. So continue, and you can see here now those 3 ones you've selected, which one is the most top priority. So of course it will normally be your gaming, then again your cloud gaming, and then a video streaming. So you can prioritize it, and again you can just drag and drop them into different priorities, and it does have that extra information on the side here for you to click if you've forgotten. Click continue, And now this is the ping optimizer, so let's reduce your lag. So basically this will optimize everything from your Wi-Fi to give you the best connection and everything else. So this is all very good. It's all built into a wizard and step-by-step instructions. So basically it's a drag and drop kind of thing that for you to do, and you don't have to really think too much about it or go into super advanced options and things like that. And we'll go through that in later videos. Optimize my ping. So you can see here it's basically just going to go through and start the ping optimizer, but again I haven't got any devices currently connected, so it will just come up with an error, but yours will have different. So once we've done that, you can see here you can now customize the RGB on the top. So you can see currently it's rainbow. You can switch it off so it's in your bedroom. You can have it, you can customize it, so you can choose the color scheme here, saturation, and the light or the brightness. So you can see here you can reverse it as well with the full spectrum, and then you've got animation as well. So you've got dynamic, you've got cyclone, so you can choose all the different ones here that you want. So it gives you a really good customization here of all the different options for the RGB on top. So once you've moved into this, it will say there that you can use this theme selected on this device. Then you can do your dark or light mode. You've got your dark mode and then the light. I do quite like using light mode, even though most people prefer using dark mode. You do have the ad blocker as well, so this does include an ad blocker. So it will basically any device that connects through the router will have ads blocked, so that's fantastic. You don't have to install any plugins, you don't have to extensions or anything like that on any of your phones, your tablets, your computers and things like that. So that's really good to see that they've included that within the wizard. You got your telemetry, if I can actually say it properly. So it allows you the Netduma to collect technical and interaction data. So again, for development, I presume all of this is anonymous kind of information that it collects. If you're unhappy with it, you can switch it off, so it gives you the option. And then you've got home location. So this is for the geo filter. So again, I know some people have sometimes around privacy and things like that, but this is really if you're going to buy this router and make the most of all these features, sometimes you're going to have to give this information into here, so it gives you the best setup and everything else. So you can click here, set location, and then you can type in your location or your city. So you can then come up here. If it comes up with anything, so you've got your hometown and city, you can then select it here as well. And then once that is done, so once all these options you've selected are satisfactory, click continue. You can see here what you've all selected and gone through, and now you can go straight into the router. So now it's just giving you the welcome screen, and it's going to go and apply those settings. So you can see here it goes through again, it comes up with a little wizard here to try the menu and explore the new features in version 4 of this operating system or firmware that's on the router. So it'll go through and give you an idea of what these options are here. As we can see here, it's very clear layout where you've got the geo filter, the ping heat map, the smart boost, network activity, the device manager, your ad blocker, you've got speed test, ping optimizer, settings, and then up here you have your themes. You can reboot it, and here will show you where you've got updates, and you've got all on your front dashboard here. You've got everything you can see all in one place. So again, it's fantastic to see this layout and everything else with games. What we're going to do in the next video is, I think I've gone on long enough, is going to test some of the speed tests for Wi-Fi. We'll go into the settings and actually see what we can do to customize it. This will get you going, and you can connect for the basic options. And again, you've gone through the customization already, so that quality of service should be already kicking in already with this, so it should already be into action. So all these other things we've got in the next video will just be a bit more advanced and everything else. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to get back to you as quick as possible. I hope you found it useful. Thanks again and have a great day.